And at this time, the chair recognizes Councilman O'Neill, who will present a resolution recognizing the week of April 23rd through April 30th as the annual days of remembrance of the 6 million Jewish martyrs. Would Sarita Golsha and those accompanying her please join the councilman at the podium? And also joining Councilman O'Neill is Councilman Don. Hey.
Thank you, Mr. President. The resolution reads as follows. In solemn recognition, during the week of April 23rd to 30th, 2017, as the annual remembrance of the 6 million Jewish martyrs who perished during the Holocaust. Whereas over 60 years ago, 6 million Jews were murdered in the Nazi Holocaust as part of a systematic program of genocide, and millions of other people suffered as victims of Nazism. And whereas.
I just want to thank Councilman O'Neill, by the way, for including me in this recognition, and just share with you a personal story, because every time this comes up, as it last year, my grandfather came from Warsaw, Poland. He was, his brothers and sisters were all killed in the concentration camps, and I still have some of the letters, actually, that he gave me that they wrote to him, who was blacked out by the camps. So thank you for including me, by the way. Whereas the people of the city of Philadelphia should continually rededicate themselves to the principle of equal justice for all people, and whereas the people of the city of Philadelphia should remain eternally vigilant against all tyranny and recognize that bigotry provides a breeding ground for tyranny to flourish, and whereas the Memorial Committee for the 6 million Jewish martyrs has chosen as the theme for this year's memorial, anti-Semitism confronting the oldest hatred. Given the alarming growth in the number of anti-Semitic threats since the beginning of 2017, desecration of Jewish cemeteries and the bomb threats to Jewish community centers and schools across the country, it is clear that we cannot be complacent in the face of anti-Semitism or any other forms of bigotry and hatred. This year's ceremony will feature Kenneth Jacobson, Deputy National Director of the Anti-Defamation League. The ceremony will also feature poems, readings, and music that speak to the theme. We applaud the committee for the honor they will bestow on the memory of those who perished and on those who survived to build and strengthen life in Philadelphia and other communities.
Whereas Jewish Federation of Greater Philadelphia and Memorial Committee for the 6 million Jewish martyrs invite all citizens of Philadelphia and the region to join in the commemoration ceremony on April 23rd, 2017 in front of the Holocaust Monument on the Benjamin Franklin Parkway from 1 o'clock to 2:30 p.m. Therefore, by virtue of this citation, the Council of the City of Philadelphia does hereby recognize the week of April 23rd through April 30th, 2017 as the annual days of remembrance of the 6 million Jewish martyrs. We further recognize the horror of the Holocaust and extend to the Memorial Committee the respect and admiration of this legislative body. This is a certification that this is a true and correct copy of the original resolution adopted by the Council of the City of Philadelphia on the 6th of April, 2017, signed by the President of City Council, Darrell Clark, co-sponsored by myself, Councilman Dom, and all council members. Thank you.
And the chair recognizes Ms. Goschel for remarks.
Thank you. Good morning. It is a pleasure for me to address you once again about our annual memorial ceremony for the 6 million Jewish martyrs who were annihilated by the Nazis simply because they were Jews. A very special thanks to Councilman O'Neill and Dom for sponsoring this City Council resolution, and to all the members of City Council for co-sponsoring as well. At this year's ceremony, we are highlighting the upsurge of anti-Semitism, which has been called the longest hatred. It is global, ingrained, and resilient. It affects everyone and can exist even where there are no Jews. Its alarming rise in recent years, especially in the lands where the Holocaust occurred, give us pause. While anti-Semitism is not government-sponsored in Europe as it was in the 1930s, denial and distortion of the Holocaust are part of the narrative that is driving these problems. During the past year, anti-Semitism has been on the rise in the United States as well. Cemeteries have been desecrated. Swastikas have been painted on grave markers. Doors and walls of synagogues have been defaced, and openly anti-Semitic materials are being distributed around the country, including right here in Philadelphia and its close suburbs. My friends, anti-Semitism cannot be allowed to grow and flourish. We have seen the results of hatred. So, what do concerned citizens do? First, we must not be afraid to address these issues. Representatives of all minority groups must come together to create venues for learning. We are all human beings. We want the same things for ourselves and our families, and we must work together to make sure that this message is not shouted down. Our children must be educated regarding these issues and given answers and appropriate ways of responding. It all begins with one person reaching out to another, one person teaching and learning from another, one person standing up for another. We must not stand by and watch and remain silent. We are all part of the American tapestry. Each of us has added to the beautiful foundation of acceptance and inclusion that our country has been founded on. This Sunday, April 23rd, the Jewish Federation of Greater Philadelphia will present our annual memorial program for those whose lives were cut short by hatred, and honor those who survived the atrocities inflicted upon the Jewish people. We invite you and your families to join us in solidarity to those who were sacrificed. We must be resolute in our commitment to keep their story alive and teach our children and fellow citizens about the downfalls of marginalization and ostracism. I hope to see you all this Sunday, and as a note of correction, because the weather does not seem to want to cooperate, our event will actually be held on Sunday at Road of Shalom at Broad and Green Streets in Philadelphia at 1 o'clock. All are invited, and we hope that you will be there with us. Thank you very much.
Council biddies.